If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Now, Torrey, how much more comfortable are you with the rest of the passing tree? Everyone knows coming out of Maryland, you got the speed. Everyone knows you can be that home run hitter. And certainly the Ravens have taken their shots, but I know Cam, I know Joe have talked the last couple weeks how much growth they've seen in you with the rest of that passing tree, some of that underneath stuff going over the middle.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm growing a lot, every day. A lot of people don't know I've only been playing receiver. This is my fourth year playing receiver, so I'm still learning. And, my route run is getting better, working with Coach Haas and, Anquan, just becoming a better technician. And that's really the biggest thing. I have the natural abilities. It's just really just learning how to, groom it, into this craft.
Now, I have to ask, obviously, I'm not going to ask you to compare to your first NFL touchdown, but that big catch at the end there, where did that rate as far as plays you made this year? Does it top your 3-touchdown game just because of the significance at the end of the game?
I think so. It was a big play for us that we needed to win. For myself, I would have been sick, if we'd have lost that game knowing that, I caused Joe an interception. So, I was glad we were able to win. At the end of the day, we got the W, but, I was definitely glad, to be a part of our resurgence.
Probably felt good coming at home as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I haven't scored at home yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Right. That's next on the list, right?
Yeah.
It is Monday Night Live. Glenn Clark, Luke Jones, alongside your host, Brendan Iambadejo, and his... I can't even describe this because people are listening right now. They don't get it. They don't really understand what we're looking at right now.
They'll have to watch. They'll have to go to,
You go to Ustream, right?
Yeah, and then they'll have to watch the show and they'll see exactly what they're looking at. Billy Vanilli and Justin and Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. Right. This was just orange and black. It was the only thing I could find. That was orange. That was in the spirit.
Maybe Billy Ripken then.
What's the best Halloween costume? Yeah, well, and I play a lot more like Billy Ripken than Cal Ripken. What's the best Halloween costume you've ever had? In your life, the best Halloween costume you've ever had?
We'll start with
Torrey.
I just had a mask, really, the screen mask. I thought that was pretty cool.
And that was
basic.
cool?
Everyone has it.
Wait, were you the guy that just threw on a mask so you could go?
Just so I can get all the candy. That's
right, sure.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not really going to do a costume or anything like this. I'm just...
At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, getting the candy. Halloween doesn't mean anything.
But you went to college. They're legitimate, and I know that you don't drink, and I know that you don't do the whole thing, but they're legitimate parties.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to imagine that at some point somebody was like, Torrey, you should probably throw on like an actual costume here.
The funny thing about that, it seemed to feel like every Halloween in college, we had a game that weekend.
So it always worked that way.
And the one Thursday, it was on a Thursday, and Friesian wasn't having it. Yeah, they had an incident some years back that was on Halloween, so that was kind of a dead issue for us.
What about you, B.A.? Best Halloween costume ever?
I did Serena Williams a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, where are the pictures of that?
I got pictures. I'll tweet them out.
Oh, that is awesome.
I'll tweet
them.
Cool. Yeah, I think I tweeted them earlier in the week, so I'll send them out again. But I did Serena. We look really, really similar.
Yeah, right.
I wore a sports bra and a skirt, and my legs were already shaved.
I was going to say, we've established that.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, we look pretty similar.
You guys are equally muscular.
Yeah.
She actually is probably a little bit more toned than you are.
She might be a little bit thicker than me.
Well, I know she is in one part of her body for sure.
Stallion, baby.
No doubt. Yesterday, everything that went into it, it's a wild day. It's oh my God, what happened? And then all of a sudden it's okay, well, we got to slowly build back. It's good to have both an offensive and a defensive guy here for that, because everybody always says, well, this is the offense's fault or it's the defense's fault. For you guys as a team, how gratifying was it that it was sort of both of you? When you guys were struggling early on, there was a big, Larry Fitzgerald makes a big play against the defense, and a couple of mistakes offensively. Corey, you mentioned the interception. It was everyone. It wasn't, you couldn't point fingers. It was everybody who was involved with it. And then on the flip side, everyone was involved with getting you guys back in the football game. How gratifying was that?
It was definitely big, especially for us on the offensive end. And, we've been struggling the past, I guess 6 quarters really. And, for us, it was important to let our defense know. Our defense, we're blessed to have a defense like them, that they can stop anyone on the field. And, we had an easy job. All we had to do, we could probably win scoring 1 touchdown with our defense. And, just knowing that they have our back, we really just want to show them that, we put them in a hole early, they did a great job. And for us, we want to come out, and play ball like we can. And, Anquan started it off and build that momentum. And our defense continued to get the stops like they normally do. And we were able to come out with a win.
And BA, even in special teams too, because you look, obviously the punt return, and I know you guys were frustrated by that, but here at the end of the game, it's punting the ball down inside the 5-yard line and making a kick. It was everybody was involved with both sides, both the problems and both bringing everybody back.
Yeah, well, we knew going into halftime, it's like, okay, offense, you got to put some points on the board. Defense, we're gonna shut them down, 3 and out. do what we got to do so you guys can get the ball and have as much, as many possessions as you can. So we knew, I think it was one of the best things that could have happened to us for the defense to underperform in the first half. The offense really wasn't functional in the first half, and the special teams broke down in the first half. So it was all collectively. There was no pointing at any fingers. It was like, okay, we need to group up, we need to get it together, all three phases, and that's the only way we're going to win this game, and that's exactly what this team needed, and that's exactly what we did. So we put 6 quarters of bad football behind us, we put 2 quarters of good football in front of us, and now we're going into Pittsburgh, and hopefully we'll continue on that same momentum that we started on the last 2 quarters of the last game.
Fans want to talk about when the Ravens struggle. Joe needs to show more emotion. Joe needs to be more of a leader, but he said some words at halftime. Tell us what he said and what impact you think it had on the offense.
We had a bunch of guys pick up. The 3 that come to hand are obviously Joe, Avonte Leach, and Anquan. And Joe was like, we know what we need to do. Basically taking charge. Like just because, on the outside people think that, Joe's not a leader because he's not, like the pretty much stereotypical quarterback, right, in-your-face type of guy, but, he speaks up, when he needs to, and he has control of the huddle in our offense at all times, and, he's a great leader, he doesn't get as much respect as he deserves, in that aspect of it, but, as far as us as a team, we all believe in him.
Does that bother you as an offense when you hear those comments about Flacco? I've talked to plenty of guys in the locker room, on the record, off the record, and no one questions Flacco's leadership ability, but you hear questions about it in the media and amongst the fans.
Yeah, and then that's, not to be like, mean or anything or disrespectful, but that's all it is, that's all just the media and the fans, and, really it's all about what goes on in our locker room and, what we think about Joe. None of them are really playing for Joe, so,
right,
it's our responsibility to have his back, and, he has ours.
It's a little fickle, fan bases, aren't they? Here, you guys are a good football team.
And the media, to be fair.
A really good football, yeah, right? And yet you have to deal with criticism. You say to yourself, look, it's one thing if we're winless. Like, I understand why someone would criticize a team that can't win a game. Dude, we're fine. We're doing all right around here. Does it bother you, or is it, everybody says it's easy to tune out, but, when it's always around, it can't be that easy to tune out.
Yeah, well, I think, in Baltimore, after what we did to the Pittsburgh Steelers the first game of the year, everybody automatically were like, okay, we're going 16-0, we're going to win every playoff game, and we're going to win the Super Bowl. So then we come out the next game, and we don't play so well, and we're 1-1, and it's like everyone's like the end of the world, this, that, the other. Then we come out and we start smashing some heads again. They're like, okay, we're going to go 15-1, win every playoff game, and win the Super Bowl. So it's like, you don't need to go 16-0 to win a Super Bowl, and even if you do go 16-0, you might end up like the Patriots.
Right, they didn't win the Super Bowl.
Right, so it's like, it's a long season, we went 12-4 last year, we go 12-4 this year, 13-3. We won a home playoff game this year for sure, but it's like, we're not going to win every game. And the other guys, people forget, the other guys get paid too. They prepare just as hard as we do.
Correct.
They go into every game thinking they're going to win every game as well. So it's a battle of attrition. It's a long season. So it's just that we put such a good product on the field the last 4 years. And, we're a team that's won a Super Bowl in a short history for this team, so the expectations are really high. It's becoming one of those pressure cookers, one of those type of places where they expect you to win, kind of like the New York Yankees or Boston Celtics, or, one of those teams where they just have really high expectations. So that's just all it is, and the fans just got to understand, it's like, we're not going to win every one, but we're going to do our best to bring a championship back to Baltimore, though.
Torrey, do we have you for another couple minutes? Can we keep it for just another couple minutes? Cool, very good. Let's do that. Let's take a break. Justin Bieber here needs to go suck face with Selena Gomez or something. I'm not really sure what he does during the break. Hey, we got prizes tonight from our friends at First Down in the East Point Mall. They are the official sponsor of Monday Night Live with Brendan Iambadejo.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.